husband and I have been dating for about 5 weeks, and it has been so much fun. I'm gonna go ahead and toot my own horn for a second because I thought of this idea and I think it has been so impactful. And I want to share it because I think a lot of couples, especially if you've been together for a long time, should try this. So I feel like most people are familiar with the love languages, and my husband Matt and I were also, but just kind of a very like basic understanding of each one. I was like, oh, I think I show love in this way, but I think I like to receive it in this way, which is different than he shows it, which is also different than he likes to receive. Like, it was just kind of like a mess, you know? And I've always thought it's a very interesting topic, but like there's more we could do. So about almost 5 weeks ago, I got this idea, and we wrote down all 5 of the love languages and crumbled up the papers so that I couldn't see them and put them in the middle, and then we'd each grab one and then read it, but only to ourselves. So for example, the first week we looked and I got acts of service, so I didn't tell him, and I said, okay, put it back, and then we had a whole week to show each other that love language without saying what it was. And then obviously he pulled one and did the same thing. And then the following Sunday we would say, okay, like we'd guess what the other one had. And then we kind of say like, okay, I really like that one. Or like, okay, that one's like, I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite. And it's been like opening a lot of really good conversations, but also it's been making dating so fun. It's also helping me realize like, okay, there's something I need to be better at. Like, for example, the acts of service one, prior to this, like that's not how I really showed love, but doing it for the week, I'm like, wait, this is actually kind of fun. I like doing things, even if it was small, like, oh, I'll fill up his water, little things like that. And I think it also is like kind of fun. Also a good learning experience. So for example, one of the first ones he had was quality time, and I didn't guess that's what he had by the end of the week. And when he was explaining, he's like, oh, like we watched more shows together and did all this. And I think it again opened up a good conversation of, oh, well, that's not how I view quality time. Like that's not argumentative. It's kind of just explaining like, oh, well, to me, this is how I would think that it, like, I don't know. It's really good conversation. We each have one more to do. And then at the end of the 5 weeks, we said we would discuss, like, we would tell each other, like, this is the one I really liked, or I kind of would like you to do this one more, or how'd you feel about this? And I think it's really fun for any couple, but we've been together for 10.5 years. So I feel like it's one of those things that it kind of just brought like a spark back, and it's so exciting. And I get excited to pick the new ones, and I also get excited all week thinking like, oh, he definitely has this one. He had words of affirmation, and it was so sweet because I definitely knew back the third day like, okay, this is it. And in the past, I'd say that's probably the one I like or I need the least. But then having a whole week of it, I was like, wait, that's kind of nice. So it's really, really fun, and I really recommend it for any couple, but especially if you've been together for a while, like bonus points if you're married, because you learn a lot about each other and about yourself. And I love it.